Hello, welcome to my first episode of Webbing of War. Now this is going to be rather different to my usual helmet reviews, because this time I'm going to go outside and I'm going to march a mile with each of the webbing sets. We're going to be comparing the British 1908 webbing and the German 1907 webbing, seeing which is better. So without further messing around, let's get changed, get into kit, let's get the webbing on, and we'll go marching. And I'll tell you a little bit about the webbing as I march. Adopted in December of 1907, the 1908 pattern web set was made by the Mills Company and designed by Major Burroughs. Now, previously we had used the 1903 set as a stopgap after the Boer War, as the Slade Wallis equipment was unable to hold stripper clips. And the short-lived 1903 set was deemed unsuitable for the infantry, so was only used for cavalry after 1908. It was a very successful webbing set, being used in Hong Kong and India all the way up until 1941, and even its large pack valise was still used with the 1938 pattern webbing. I can't see why it lasted so long. I did really enjoy this march, and it does fit really well, but I will get more into that in the next segment. As you've seen, we've just marched all the way up here with the webbing on to see how it fits. Right off the bat, it's all canvas, so it actually fits really well to the body. And it's really comfortable. As you can see, I've got my mess tin hanging down, and the pack held close in to the small of my back, which I think is an ideal place for it. So this is kind of more of a late war configuration, because comparing this to the German webbing, I think having a tornister makes it no competition. This is just better in every way. But even late war, I think this pack is a lot better than a bread bag. You can fit a lot in it. I mean, I've got it pretty empty at the moment, but that mess tin could easily fit in the pack. So let's get it off. So late war, the way I've got this webbing set up circa around about 1917 is we've got the pack, the entrenching tool, water bottle should be here, which I do not have on my webbing at the moment. The bayonet frog here, entrenching tool close to it. Personally, I prefer the World War II configuration, where it's just the bayonet frog by itself, because I feel like this seems to move around a bit too much, and it would be a lot better with the entrenching tool handle going across here. But that's just a small nitpick, and it really doesn't negatively affect your fighting efficacy at all. Water bottle, where it is easy to access. Early war, the entrenching tool would be underneath it, but again, that doesn't actually negatively affect anything. As well as moving the pack here and putting a large haversack on. But all in all, this is the ideal web set. I think it's no competition so far between this and the German offering. As with the helmets, I want to see if this webbing gets in the way in different firing positions. The way it is snug to your chest and to your person, I don't see that being an issue whatsoever. This is a very good bit of kit, very low profile. So, of course, standing, naturally, you wouldn't expect it to make much odds in the standing position. Kneeling, the only concern with the kneeling position is probably this bayonet frog. As you can see, it does dig into the ground, and but really, it's not much of an issue. If you've got the bayonet out, it does tend to flex, but it's leather, so it shouldn't wear away too quickly. It should be all right. Then when you go prone, I'm going to use this sort of embankment. When you're prone, again, compared to the German webbing, this is so low profile, nothing gets in the way, and you can crawl about on the ground all day and it just not be an issue. Just right away, this is the best webbing of the war. Back now, do a quick rundown of the webbing. So as I said, hands down, the 1908 is, so far, without testing the 1907, I can just tell it's going to be best webbing. I've got some experience with the German webbing, although granted not as much, but on first impressions, I can't really fault it. As I said, the low profile of the webbing is just ideal, and its American heritage is rather obvious. Now, usually I would say, if you disagree, say something in the comments, but at the end of the day, it's just such a good piece of web gear that there's no competition. And let's get into German kit. Not looking forward to going out in public in that. Let's hope nobody sees me. And then in the next video, which will come out in a few weeks' time, we can then compare and contrast and see how it stacks up to the king of all webbings. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. And I stand by that. I'll fight anyone. This is the best webbing of the war. Usually I say, if you disagree, let me know in the comments, but no, you're just wrong. It's blatantly wrong. So let's carry on with the review. Is that not too aggressive at the end?